And welcome back everyone to the DatNASCAR Racing Network. It is time to get this DatNASCAR Invitational Finals out of the way. We've got 4 cars left out of a field of 12. The 4 best drivers in the field tonight. Here we go, where we'll start with the number 1 pole position going to Gray Wizard from the Golden Owl in that number 77 machine. He gets the fastest time in qualifying. He'll be starting on the front row. Alongside of him will be Arlo from Arlo Racing. They posted a very, very fast qualifying time as well, and it's landed them on the front row. In the back row, qualifying third, it will be Daddy G from G4 Diecast Racing. And alongside him, there's no need to guess, it'll be Mr. Darq from Dubious Diecast. He will start on the back row with a rather tough qualifier and a DNF. That's how they're going to stack up here. We're going to run 8 laps. We'll run 4. We'll reshuffle them around with another set of qualifiers and get them reseeded to start laps 5, 6, 7, and 8. For now, we're going to start with our first 4 laps, get them knocked out. We hope you're going to enjoy this one. It was fun. We're sad that it's going to be over, but it will be lap 1. The Gray Wizard and Arlo will be on the front row. Arlo will be on the outside. They're down and away through turn number 1, down the back straightaway. They zoom into the divided 180 and through the chicane and out into the open track. It's the Gray Wizard right now with the advantage over Daddy G. Daddy G trying to get him, but he will not, and it will be Gray Wizard winning the race, followed by Daddy G, Arlo, and finally Mr. Darq pulling in there to join the crew. Everyone getting down to the finish line for lap number 1. What more could you ask for? These cars have been built and tuned for this track. As you see them coming across the finish line. Mr. Darq coming in last place. He'll get that car fixed up and worked out, I'm sure. And after lap 1, Gray Wizard with the early lead. Daddy G right behind him. Arlo in 3rd. And again, Mr. Darq in 4th. We're back at the top of the mountain for lap number 2. Daddy G will be on the inside of the front row. This time it will be the Gray Wizard on the outside. Darq pushing along Daddy G as they get into the open track. Daddy G starting to check out from the draft. He's into the final turn, and Daddy G will win. The Gray Wizard will come in 2nd. Mr. Darq, he comes in 3rd. I did not see Arlo. Still not there. There's Arlo at gate 2. He's up there by that mid-course pit spot. And let's see what happens to him. Daddy G starting to check out once he gets to the open track. He hits that turn 3 very nicely. Oh, Arlo into the grandstands, taking down a few fans. And that is very, very unfortunate. Up front, Daddy G crosses the finish line first. Gray Wizard 2nd. They're tied for points after 2 races, and you gotta feel Arlo gonna have to put that behind him there. Paramedics on the scene, they get it all cleaned up and worked out. We're up and ready for lap number 3 this time. Mr. Darq, he'll be on the inside of front row. Daddy G will be on the outside. He's going to get the push from the Gray Wizard. They get into the divided 180 and through the chicane, down through the open track, and it's Daddy G flexing his muscle. He's going to go back to back with 2 wins in a row, 2 out of his first 3. That's going to give him a bit of a lead. Arlo once again, that's back-to-back DNFs for Arlo. Let's see what happens to him. He just doesn't get through the final home stretch. And that number 69 machine, Daddy G setting his own pace up front, and they're all behind him trying to get it sorted out. And we see them come through turn 3 again. This time everybody gets through turn 3 correctly, and they're on their way. Problem is, Daddy G has just checked out already. There's no catching Daddy G in that number 4 machine. 2nd place goes to Mr. Darq, and the Gray Wizard, he'll get his 3rd place. There's Arlo up top of the back straightaway for his 2nd DNF. And after 2 races, Daddy G with the slight lead on the Gray Wizard. So we're ready to go. Arlo, he will start your inside lane. Mr. Darq, he'll be on the outside lane. They're down and away. Daddy G puts Mr. Darq into the wall. It's a 2-horse race at the front into the open track. It'll be Arlo in the lead through turn 3, but here comes the Gray Wizard. He goes to the inside. He goes to the outside. He makes the pass on the inside in the final turn, and the Gray Wizard wins, stealing the win away from Arlo. In the final turn, Arlo looked like he had this one in complete control. What happened to Darq? I'm sure we'll have to take another look at that, but I'm sure that had Daddy G written all over it, as Daddy G was in a hurry to get to the finish line. Let's take one slow look at it. Yes, Daddy G gets through there. Thing about it is, Daddy G keeps on going. He managed to keep that car moving, turned over. Up front, it's Arlo all by himself. You see Gray Wizard back there just sizing him up through turn 3. He hits turn 3 perfect. A little bit of a shimmy shake there from Arlo, but here comes the Gray Wizard on the inside of the final turn. He crosses over and he takes the lead for good. What an incredible overtake there. And after 4 races, we're knotted up 23 apiece at the top. Mr. Darq with 12 points and Arlo with 9. And that's how they run from after the first 4 laps. Now, we ran these cars from the outside lane for another qualifier to reseed the cars. They come out with Daddy G in first, the Gray Wizard in second, Arlo in third, and Mr. Darq again having a tough time qualifying there. He'd never made it to the finish line. He will qualify 4th. So that's how they will start laps 5, 6, 7, and 8. There again, we have a tight race at the top. Mr. Darq and Arlo are going to have to get something going in the second half of the finals here. We're going to get right to it. We're ready for lap 5. As we start with our new seeds, it will be Daddy G on the inside, Gray Wizard on the outside. They were the fastest 2 qualifiers this time around, but it's Arlo pushing Daddy G through the chicanes and into the open track. Arlo all over Daddy G, but it is the Gray Wizard who finds an outside lane and makes it through the destruction, and he wins. Anybody else coming? Yes. Daddy G backs across the finish line. Mr. Darq, he'll get 3rd. And again, Arlo with the DNF, not how you want to start the back 9 here at Brick Mountain Speedway. Let's take one more look. They came through the chicane just fine. Daddy G in complete control, gets the car sideways. Arlo looks like he wants to take advantage of this, but they get it all tied up right at the second gate, and there Arlo runs right into Daddy G. Gray Wizard, he finds a way on the outside. He gets everybody going again, but it's just too late for everybody else. The Gray Wizard takes the win in lap number 5. He takes the lead as well. The Gray Wizard now jumping ahead of Daddy G by just a couple of points. And again, down the bottom, it looks like it's going to be a tough go of it for Mr. Darq and Arlo. Arlo will start on the inside of the front row. Daddy G will be on the outside. He's had a very strong machine. He's got all of the Gray Wizard behind him again, pushing through the chicanes and into the divided 180. Down into turn 3. Daddy G gets sideways, but he's kept it going, and big problems up there at the top. It will be Daddy G with a solo win, 3 DNFs. We'll go back and take one more look. But my goodness, not what you want to have happen there for Mr. Darq and Arlo, who are trying to get back into this thing, trying to fight their way back into a win. As we see Daddy G all by himself, he doesn't have to worry about anything, and they just get all tied up behind him. It was the Gray Wizard tied up with Arlo, Mr. Darq in there, and it just left the door wide open. Not that Daddy G needs it, but he'll take it. And what that does to the points right now, it eliminates Mr. Darq and Arlo from winning the tournament. It will be up to the Gray Wizard. Does he have anything for Daddy G? They will start on the back row. It will be Mr. Darq on the inside of the front row. Arlo, they'll be on the outside. We'll see what they can do, if they can salvage anything from this one. They cannot win. It's Daddy G pushing along Arlo as they get into the open track. Arlo with the lead, but not for long. It's Daddy G who takes the lead, but Arlo's going to fight it back. Arlo's not done. It will be Daddy G for the win. Arlo will come in second. Mr. Darq will come in third. And it will be the Gray Wizard in fourth. What a race right there. The Arlo machine, number 69, had the lead. There goes Daddy G in the number 4 car, who takes the lead through turn 3 and never looked back. For a moment, I thought Arlo was going to take it. He does not. It's Daddy G getting to the finish line first, and with those 7 points, securing the DatNASCAR Invitational Championship. Lap 3 will just be to see where they finish in points. They will finish in points this way, but again, nobody can catch Daddy G. He'll start in the back. Arlo will be beside him. The Gray Wizard, he'll be on the inside of the front row. He leaves the pack through the divided 180 into the chicane, but Daddy G not done. Daddy G gets turned around sideways and gets hit, and it's going to be the Gray Wizard all by himself. The Gray Wizard, will win, and it will be 3 DNFs behind, and it sounded like a lot of destruction and mayhem back there towards the midpoint of the track. Look at the destruction. Signs everywhere, all over people. The roof has come off. Oh my gosh, the poor spectators. Arlo on his roof, under the track. How? How do you get underneath the track? How does the roof pin that spectator down? My goodness. We'll take another look at this, but that is just unfortunate. As the Gray Wizard and Daddy G were fighting it out at the beginning, it looks like Daddy G gets on the side, he gets turned around, Arlo has nowhere to go, and everything just comes down. Everything comes crumbling down. Gray Wizard, he takes the win, and he adds to his total, giving him 40 for the round. But again, just wasn't enough for Daddy G, who finishes with 42. Mr. Darq with 16. Arlo with 14. And they gave it a tough go. Those cars are beat up. They're banged up. But the DatNASCAR Invitational Championship will go to Daddy G and G4 Diecast Racing. This is a exhibition race only. There are no points for standings. It's just bragging rights only, and the bragging rights will go to the number 4 car of Daddy G in that G4 Diecast Racing team. Not their first time in victory lane here at Brick Mountain Speedway. Probably won't be the last time. We hope you've enjoyed this edition of our NASCAR racing. We hope to bring it to you more in 2023 with a much bigger field. Coming up next on the channel, we team up with the Junkyard Joust team, and we've got Wreckfest. We are going to get that kicked off for you next week. It's going to be some head-to-head battles, some relay races, some boneyard barricades, and more, all on the Diecast Dude Racing Network, your home for Wreckfest. Thank you for watching. Give us a like, drop us a comment, let us know how we're doing. That's all. We will see you next week, folks.